Welcome back again to Folk Tips. Wow, it's been a wonderful one week or some few days since we posted our video, and the response, it's been amazing. Thank you guys out there, especially Uncle Nash. Much respect. All the calls, the messages, the encouragement, things we have to do to improve this. It is all welcome. We love it, we appreciate it from all the viewers. All we asking is share, like, and any advice, we are open. Now we're back today, and it's all about me, Steve here, and my man Max.
Right.
It's always a pleasure. We have a lot to talk about today.
Exactly.
But let's look at this before my questions follows. Let's look at this clip, this short clip. What stops our leaders from getting us a country like this? What stops our leaders to make our country like this? What stops them from making Ghana look like this beautiful? What? This is a hospital. Look at the buildings. Welcome back, man.
Yo, man, what's up?
Cool. You saw, it's been a good week.
Right.
You saw the video we posted.
Yeah. It really doing good. I saw people giving comment and also side with us.
Yeah.
That means they agree with the way we're going on things.
That's all it's about. That's all what it's about. We want to push our country out there. We want to push our continent, and most of all, we want to put our race on the map. Max, you saw the video. Today is just infrastructure development.
Right.
And we are focusing on Ghana. You saw the video.
Yes.
What stops our leaders? What has been the problem for years for them to create such a heaven for us?
Well, I would say that wickedness is one of the factors.
Wow.
Wickedness. You know, I'm black, you are black, but when you look at our attitude towards the environment which we live, I think you can say that wickedness has never departed from our midst. And number two is lack of motivation. Why? Because people travel, for example, our leaders travel and they come back, but they don't bring the motivation which they saw over there back home. And number two, primitive. Number three, primitive. Primitive simply means that you have old mentality which you don't want to eradicate or you don't want to exit it, and it's part of you. And I think number four would be money-minded. You know, money-minded simply means that you only focus on money in your pocket, but you don't care about your environment. And then number five, I would say dirtiness.
Okay.
Our leaders are dirty right from their brain.
Okay.
And so they don't see anything good from the outside. Yes.
So I picked two things out of the five list you gave me, and you talk about money. And growing up as a kid, all I knew and heard from my parents and my family, because my family, we argue a lot on issues. And it's the same. They talk about money, Ghana being rich, Ghana being, and most Africans are like that. Like African countries are like that. Nigeria, and they are all rich countries, or claim to be rich. It's either we are not rich and we claim to be rich, or we are rich and we are not doing what is expected of us. So what I'm saying, what I want to ask you is, if we are that rich, where is the money going then?
It's a big question, bro. When you look at the money we have, well, I'm not talking about the GDP and stuff like that, because if we want to talk about the GDP in the whole world, Africa should have been the highest GDP.
Yeah.
Why? Because most of the natural resources that we supply to every part of the world comes from Africa. Every riches. Talk about gold. Go to what is it, Saudi Arabia? Go to what is it, Dubai? Go to China. All these places, they get gold from Africa, and our gold has been the best. Yes, of course, the riches is over there. But then, where does the rich go? It goes into the pocket of the so-called leadership. So until our leadership would turn their mind from thinking that life is all about possessing a lot of things, and then use the capital, the money that we earn from whatever resources that we have to develop our nations, it will never change. That said, you know, let's remind ourselves when Ghana got independence, and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, he was a great man, right?
Yeah.
But then
he's a legend.
Right.
He helped us.
Right. But then he was carried away after we got the independence, and he was seeking to bring Africa together. But the truth is, you cannot bring people you don't know together unless you bring yourself or your own together first. So what he needed to do was to develop Ghana first. Now, this is it. Every human being. Yeah, he started it, but he didn't do it as it's supposed to be. I understand. I'm a fan of Nkrumah. You're a fan of Nkrumah. He helped to earn the independence of Ghana. But the truth must be told. And our leaders are repeating the same thing. We want to show up. We want to show off to the world. We want to say we are rich, like you talk about Nigeria. Nigeria is far, far rich than any continent outside Africa. Talk about Dubai. Do you understand? So why we cannot use any of our resources, the abundance of our resources, to develop Africa? It's just because our leaders don't see the need for developing what our home, just like Nkrumah did. You know.
Okay, let me cut in. Sorry for cutting in. But if you sit here and you're telling me our leaders don't see it. When they travel, what do they see? No, I'm just being frank and sincere.
So if I had asked you this question, what answer would you give? What do they see if they travel?
Maybe they get blindfolded.
It's like
through the airport, and because looking at this short video we just looked at, look, that particular place, I've been here for many years, and I know that street. When I was here, it was just a one way. But look at the development there.
Right.
In a space of 2 to 3 years. Right.
So I call this dirtiness. When your mind,
dirty mind, right?
Yeah, dirty mind. When your mind is dirty, you don't see anything better in life.
Hold on. Come on here.
Okay.
Are you telling me that their mind are so dirty they see beauty and they still can recognize beauty?
Ask African leader, which would he choose? A beautiful young girl, or a beautiful young girl, buy a car for a beautiful young girl, or use the money to build a road to his own home, to his own mother's home? Don't we have crooked road that leads to most of these leaders' hometowns?
That is the next question. Now you're always coming closer to my questions all the time. My question is, okay, so we talked about leaders and they don't do stuff. And then they go on campaigning every 4 years down the line. They go campaigning, asking for a road. They come promising roads and stuff. And when it's time to campaign, they use those roads. How do they feel? Tell me. Maybe you understand them more, because I find it very difficult.
Hey, last time I told you, most of the African leaders, Ghanaian leaders, well, let me consist on Ghanaian leaders. They don't respect Ghanaian people. Why? Because Ghanaian people are so meek. Who is dying in Ghana? who is going to hospital and there's a huge traffic that they couldn't get to the hospital to seek medical attention and die. Who are pregnant.
It's the poor.
Okay, so you see that.
It's the so-called poor.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you don't see this as a leader in the country, and yet you claim to be a leader, then I don't see where your mind is. Not insulting anybody, but I think we have to respect.
The truth must be told, though.
Right.
I do support you. You're not sounding insulting or anything. I just feel that it is time for us to lay bare the truth. You know.
The truth is, we don't. It's not about money, okay?
So what is it about? What is it about then?
It's about planning. The leaders of Ghana have to see ahead of them. They have to look at 100 years to come. How would our generation going to be like? And what would they say after we have left and gone? What would they say about me? Okay, I am Jerry John Rawlings.
Yeah.
What did I do that the people of Ghana, after 100 years, they will remember my name? I am Kufuor. What did I do that the people of Ghana will remember? I'm Atta Mills. What is the name of the other guy?
Mahama.
Mahama.
Yeah.
What would they say? And then the current one is Nana Akufo-Addo. Okay, what would they say about me when I'm gone 100 years to come? It's not about the statue that, oh, hey, there was a former president. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about what somebody did. Just like we say Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. That's how we remember people. We remember people in Ghana, in Africa, after they've died, we just make a monument to remember them. Yeah. But the truth is, we should remember them based on what they achieved.
This is Folk Tips. It's getting hot out here. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, bro.
Guys, opinions are like flies. I always say that. If you have anything, any comment, any advice, please leave it in the comments section. Like, subscribe, and share. You're pleased to do so. We welcome your advice. And thanks again, Max.
Thanks a lot, bro.
Thanks again.
Thanks.
And watch out for our next video, because we have more to come. We have many series of this stuff. Because now it's accountability time. Our leaders need to account for us and our children's children. These current leaders across Africa. We need to stand up. It is our time. We need to rise. Rise, Africa. Rise.